Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom KLS, Shabbat Shalom Beiteinu. So today is a very special day because we are going to do some gardening. We're going to go outside in the garden after a shorter service today. So I wanted to send you Tammy's apology. She couldn't come today because her car broke down. You know, this happens from time to time. You try to come and then the car doesn't want. So I don't know if you're watching us, Tammy. Take some time for you to rest now. And Shabbat Shalom to all of you who came online today for this COP26 service. So we're going to start with a few songs. Let's start with, on page 102, for those we have LGY Netzer prayer book, page 102, and for the others you'll see that these prayers are well known. Okay. I give thanks to you, my living God, that in your great love I am alive to see this new day. It's a very easy tune. Sorry, not COVID. Huh? Modeh ani lefanecha melech chai vekayam izi modeh ani lefanecha melech chai vekayam. Now we go a bit up. Modeh ani lefanecha moda ani lefanecha. It's easy, huh? Let's do it together again. So if you're a girl, you say moda. If you're a boy, or you say modeh. I should add if you don't. So modeh is masculine and in Hebrew, and moda is feminine. I don't know how to say these things anymore. Modeh ani lefanecha melech chai vekayam. Moda ani lefanecha melech chai vekayam. Modeh ani lefanecha moda ani lefanecha. Turn the page and we are going to say together in English the morning blessings, and we start with Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, for eyes to see. Okay, shall we do this together? Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, for eyes to see. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, for clothes to wear. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, for the joy of freedom. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, for the power to rise. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, for providing for all our needs. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, for daily renewing our strength. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, for the blessing of sleep and the privilege of waking to a new day. So sometimes I don't know how you feel in the morning, you know, the blessing of sleep and the privilege of waking for a new day. Of course, it's great, but sometimes we would like the sleep to last a bit longer, no? Yeah? So how did you wake up this morning? Did you wake up well? Are you happy? You look cold. You're a bit cold, huh? Yeah, it's quite cold today. It's fine. It gives you strength. So, the next prayer I want us to sing together is the Shema. The Shema. We all know the Shema together. So how would you say this in Hebrew? How do you say that? Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. And what does this mean? Shema. Listen. But it's not just, listen to the music in the background when you're driving in your car. It's listen really when your teacher tells you, listen now. It's a bit violent. It's not the best image, maybe, talk about God, but that's listen Israel. Adonai Eloheinu, the eternal our God. Adonai. What's the last word? Echad. What does Echad mean? One. There's one God. Okay, so which tune do we know? The Debbie Friedman one? Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Leolam Vaed. Can you turn to page 114? 114, and we are going to say the first paragraph of the Shema together in Hebrew, because it's important for you to get used to the language of the prayer, the Hebrew language. And if your Hebrew is a bit rusty or not yet, in the middle column you have a transliteration which will help you, but don't get stuck to that. You have to learn the letters. But transliteration can help you. Okay, say it with me. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשורבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. So when the rabbis decided, how do we pray? How do Jews pray? So they thought a lot about it. They discussed a lot. They had this kind of schools for rabbis in antiquity that would stay together and read the Torah and say, how do we pray? And they say, okay, let's take some passages from Torah. And here it's a passage from the last book of Torah. How is it called? The last book? The last of the 5 books, yeah? Deuteronomy, very well. And Deuteronomy is a series of speeches that Moses gave before his death. And in one chapter, Moses says, Shema Israel, listen Israel, the eternal one is our God, the eternal is one. And then the rabbis took some biblical passages, they put them together, and they also added their own writings, and then they created what we call today a siddur, a prayer book. But the siddur we have today changes all the time, because people add, remove some prayers. So what's the next big prayers of a Jewish liturgy when a service? So we have the Shema, and the other one which we say 3 times a day. Do you remember? When we stand, to stand means la'amod. La'amod means to stand. So la'amod. Amida. Thank you. So I'm going to ask you to stand, and we're going to say just the first blessing of Yamida, which is on page 118. 118. Okay, and we sing together. Adonai sefatai tiftach, Ufi yagi tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth shall declare your praise. And let's read the English together. We praise you, eternal one, our God, and God of ancestors, God of Abraham and God of Sarah, God of Isaac and God of Rebekah, God of Jacob, God of Rachel and God of Leah, great and mighty, awesome and exalted God, you deal kindly with us and embrace us all. You remember the faithfulness of ancestors, and in love bring redemption to the children's children for the sake of your name. You are our sovereign and helper, our redeemer and shield. We praise you, O God, shield of Abraham and Sarah. Okay, please be seated. So this morning, Caroline told you that this Shabbat is a very special Shabbat for our community. How is it called? Do you remember? Yes? Environment. Yeah, it's about the environment. Yes? Eco Shabbat. Eco Shabbat. Yes? So you wanted to say that? Okay, so that's Eco Shabbat. And Eco Shabbat is marked today by all Jewish communities in Britain. And we all do the same today. We talk about the environment. So you know all the things that are happening at the moment in Glasgow, in Scotland? Do you know? Yes? Wow, so your dad works there. Gosh, so maybe when it's over, he can come and talk to us. And he can come and talk to us and tell us what he's learned there. That would be very interesting.
Exactly what I said.
Yeah, good. No, I think it's a good idea, because someone will... So there are about 40,000 people in Glasgow at the moment discussing the future of our planet and trying to find solutions to stop or to limit global warming. So, of course, you probably talk about this a lot in your schools, and I'm not going to go back, to all the data. So I've put some papers somewhere around, but it's just too small. I just wanted us to think about what can we do. What can we do? And one of the ways to understand is to understand how much CO2 we produce. Do you say CO2 in English as well? We produce as individuals, by our lifestyle. And there's a way to calculate it. It's called carbon footprint. And the carbon, provokes global warming. So let's have a look. Okay. So it's 3 sheets. I hope I have enough. So I'm going to ask you to look at your carbon footprint. Okay, I will see. Normally I should have enough, but just in case. So we're going to do a little exercise. Okay, so I'm going to fight here now. No fight today. Do we need to do another fight? I've got some left. You want another one? Good. So we've already started. Do you want? Okay, so you just have to answer a few questions. How do you get to school? David, how do you get to school? Okay, Beitainu, can I have your attention, please? So we have a few questions. You had a chance to look at them, and I just wanted to hear what you say. How do you get to school? So you can walk, you can cycle, bus, or car. So who walks? Okay, brilliant. Who takes a bicycle? Oh, okay, good. Bus? No bus? And car? We go by car. Okay, good. The second question is, this one is a very important one. I mean, they're all important. This one. Do you turn off the water when brushing your teeth? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, that's a good thing to do, absolutely. So how do you dry your clothes? I don't know if actually you know that. So, who's drying naturally? Who's using a drying machine? Okay. You use both. Okay. Okay. Depend on the weather, I suppose, yes? Sorry? Okay. Okay. So do you recycle your waste? Yes. Okay. Who doesn't recycle? I mean, it's quite. You have to do it now. Huh?
It depends on your local authority, whether they let you recycle.
Yeah, it depends on your local authority, of course. Yes, definitely. But most of them are doing this now. Huh?
Varying degrees.
Yeah.
Leeds, where John lives, recycling is limited and challenging.
Limited and challenging. So in other words, crap. Okay, what bags do you use at the grocery store? I don't know if you do your grocery, but you go with your parents. Are you using plastic bags? So the reusable bag. Huh? Reusable bag. Good. So you've got the good attitude. And do you use a plastic straw? One? No. Reusable straws? Okay. No straws? Yeah. So they have now straws that can be, that are not in plastic. Yeah. Okay. Metal one. Metal one. Wow. Gosh, it's a bit dangerous, no? You don't have to fall on your straw. I'm watching too many horror movies, I guess. Okay, so you see, the point is, we all have to do a little to achieve big things. That's really what the power of being together is so important. One person cannot change the world. Of course, as much as you would like to do that, one person cannot change the world. But all together with the same objective, which is reducing this kind of heating machine that our world is becoming for the future, is probably something we can do all together, or we will fail all together. So this morning I had a study session with Kabbalah Torah, and we went through the Jewish response to that. And there's one passage, and I will finish by that, it's the story. It's the story of a man called Choni Ameagel. I don't know if you know this guy. Choni Ameagel. Choni, the circle maker. And what he did once, he was walking like this, somewhere in the hills of Israel, and he saw a man planting a carob tree. I don't know, we don't have carob trees here, but it's a tree that grows in Israel. And Choni said to the guy, why are you doing that? Are you expecting to use the fruit of this tree? And the man answered, no, it's not for me. It takes 70 years for a carob tree to bear fruits. And Choni said, but why are you doing that? He said, look at the carob trees around me. I'm benefiting from these carob trees that were planted by previous generations. So the message is, what we do today is partly for us, but it's also for the future generations after us. Right. So we have a session in the garden, but before that, I've been asked to say the Kaddish for someone who died recently. So we're going to say the Kaddish and sing a final song. Where's the Kaddish? Okay. So on this Shabbat we remember Dorothy Nyman, the grandmother of Rebecca Singerman Knight and mother-in-law of David Singerman. We remember May Noad, the mother of Elsa Acton Bond. And we remember Fluellen Spencer Fluellen, who passed away on Tuesday. A young man who was 18. So, Zichronam Livracha, may the memory be a blessing, and we say together, Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon, u'v'chaye dechol beit Israel, ba'agala v'izman kari v'emru amen. Yehei shemei rabba mevarach le'alam le'almei almaya, יתברר וישתבר ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלל שמי לקודשה בריחו לאלה מן כל ביחתה ושירתה תוש בחתה ונחמתה דם אירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל בני אדם ואמרו אמן. Please be seated for one last song that you all know, very easy. מה יפה היום, שבת שלום. מה יפה היום, שבת שלום. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Okay, the next part of today's Eco Shabbat is to go into the garden and to listen to the garden team where they will talk you through some activities about gardening in the garden, just for you to have an understanding of our connection with the earth, and also you'll see things growing over the month. And we will come back, and the work you're doing today, like Choni Ameagel's story, the work you're going to do today, you'll see the results not tomorrow, but over the coming month. Okay? Shabbat Shalom, and Shabbat Shalom to all of you who came online today.